Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a TVT between Last and sSak here on Fighting Spirit. Top left-hand corner, it is the White Terran player. It is a Monster, a Smurf name for sSak. And in the bottom left, we have ourselves the Red Terran player Last, under his Smurf name Gosu. Okay, these are Last Smurf names, you guys. Ashley18, Everty Ashley, Hild, Lind, Mokoland, Toss Gesaki, Zerg Gasaki, Melverk Gosu, Bonnie, Josu, Everty Last, AlphaGo, Momaka, BJ Hunje, and Mudot Last. Like, I think he might. Oh no, Icarus has more Smurf names. He has a lot of Smurf names, you guys. This dude, if you're interested in all the Smurf names, just go to Wikipedia and search, go to wikipedia.net/starcraft/smurfs/list, and it will bring you to the information you want. So this is going to be a super long macro TVT. I hope you're all ready for it here on your Saturday, because I was like, what haven't I done for a while? I haven't cast a TVT in some time. And that is true. Haven't cast a TVT in some time. I've done PvPs and ZVZs recently, but the TVT has been kind of lost to time because, I don't know, I just have overarching memories of every TVT I've ever cast and watched being like, and then there were a million tanks in a line staring at each other, and they kept firing on stuff, and sometimes they didn't fire at all. Anyway, bit of a proxy barracks here out of sSak. Kind of like it in this TVT. He has no idea where Last is. He hasn't scouted at all. But he is going to try to get some early Marines out, come across, and try to kill the Terran player sooner than he wants to, would be my guess. But yeah, Terran fans, this is for you. We might get battle cruisers in this. We could get Valkyries. We're probably going to get Wraiths. We will 100% get tanks, because without tanks, what are you supposed to do in a TVT? I mean, actually, we have seen games, especially in the Cheese compilation, right? Cheese compilation, the last one that I did, I think there was a TVT that was similar to this, where one player proxied here, and then his opponent, like, proxied here. Something like that. They didn't see each other, and it was hilarious. If you haven't seen the Cheese compilation, you probably should. So, SEV actually going to check the right direction here to see what's what. Oh, he just sends the barracks across. Whoa. Wow. He's going to be wide open here. The Marine starts off the turn around, Marine. He's here. Turn around, Marine. Marine. Yeah. Okay, so he turns around. He's like, holy smokes. And then, he's lifting his own barracks too while he makes a factory back home. So, all right. So he just makes one Marine out of it. This was not any attempt to really murder the Terran opponent, I don't think, to murder Last. But this Marine is pretty problematic. If you can get in here. Oh. He's building a bunker for one Marine. This is such a weird opening. I don't even, like... the SCV gets a couple hits off, which is nice. The SCV does pretty good damage against Marines. Marines are squishy, especially if they don't have their upgrades, their armor upgrades and whatnot. So basically, your natural base is stopped, which is moderately annoying. An SCV from Last did find sSak space and is also being annoying, but I really don't think this is going to be any type of a problem. You make one tank, you roll down here, you kill that bunker, and you expand. It's really not going to slow you down all that much. A command center's coming up. Barracks scouting up to the north because no one's going to make anything that can shoot up for some time. So scouting barracks are the meta in TVT for the first several minutes at least. This is amazing. sSak is going for spider mines and vultures, whereas tanks are in production here from Last. Which, in a straight-up engagement, yeah, tanks are going to win against vultures, but the spider mines are the great equalizer. You get a couple good spider mine hits off on those tanks, you can have a pretty good time. See, once again, it feels slow, man. In fairness, I did just cast my YouTube Sunday stream, which I do a lot of that on ×2 speed, especially in the early game for some of these matches. And so as a result, ×2 starts to feel normal, and the regular fastest speed does not feel normal, and it's a bad time. See, look, tank rolls down here. Bonk, 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 bonk. Spider mines are not done yet, but they're very close. Oh, they're done. They're done. Look at him just tossing him down. It's like, you can't successfully leave your house until you deal with those spider mines. How annoying is that? Meanwhile, Barracks just lands right in sSak's natural. Hey, I'm going to mess up the pathing on your mining for quite a bit here. Don't mind me. Both players are now making tanks. Siege mode is coming in from sSak. Marine getting some shots off on that command center. There we go. 2 tanks causing problems. But look, the spider mines are laid here. Do you have any? He's making it. Look, the barracks is there so that it's harder to throw down a comsat. But never mind. He got one down anyway. It's okay. Last, you don't have to worry about him as much. But look, he can't expand because there are spider mines. The Marine getting hits off on that command center. He's trying to bait into spider mines here, but I think Last is too smart for this. This is really fun opening game stuff that sSak is trying to pull off here. It's really more standard out of Last, but you can't get out until you have... There's the scan. So there's the scan. You got to kill all of them before it runs out. And they do. All their spider mines die. Vultures do not trigger spider mines because they hover, because it'd be hilarious if they triggered their own spider mines. I guess. Is it because it would be funny? I don't know. Whatever. Balance changes. These decisions were made back in 1998. Many, many years ago. Tanks pushing. Defensive tanks sieging up here for Last. And free shot, man. Yeah. Almost. Did lose a siege tank there. That's brutal. Out of Last. Okay. Pulling back. Not liking what he sees here. I gotta say right now, I feel like sSak is ahead. He is ahead economically. He's ahead with a slightly larger army. I mean, it's very, very close, but technically he is ahead. His natural base was up and running before Last was, which is a minor bonus. We'll see if he can go for a 3rd base here or not. Oh, sorry for the static there. Just my microphone doing some stuff. Okay. Vulture versus Vulture battles. Don't engage. Too long or all of your Vultures will die. Both players going for Vulture speed at approximately the same time, but sSak's is faster. Again, sSak just a little bit ahead on what he's trying to do here. Yeah, so at this stage, I mean, this is the TVT experience, right? It's kind of a lot of hanging out. It gets to a point that both players are pretty darn entrenched, and there's not much you can do. Right? Like, nobody's going to die in the next 10 minutes in this game. It's just not doable once we reach this stage. Just too many spider mines on the ground, too many tanks in siege position. It just takes too long to get up here and kill your opponent. It's a slow and steady kind of a thing when you're a tank versus a whole bunch of tanks. It's just what it is. APMs for these players hovering around 380 for Gosu, 270 for Monster, also known as sSak. This barracks getting chased away. Marine might actually eventually kill it. It's got many, many hits off on that thing. It's trying real hard. The 2 barracks, the floating friends, yet enemies, enjoying their time together. Is this it? Is this our no man's land? Tanks across the north, tanks across the south. Somebody asked the other day, why don't I switch it? Switch colors? It's because if you try to switch colors like you do in team games and you're in a 1v1, it does this. It's where everything is yellow, which is of no use to anybody, least of all me. There you go. 3rd base is coming up. 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Diametrically opposed are these 2 players. We'll see if somebody manages to take the center base on this map, which is always a sign that either you're really ahead or you're really behind. desperately trying to catch back up, or you're feeling confident and strong enough, you can take this and get even further ahead. Sometimes that's all it is. Both players working on +1 vehicle weapons at this stage. It looks like lasts are a little bit ahead here. Oh, a little bit of aggression here. Some vultures swinging around the left side, but there is a spider mine here scouting these shenanigans. Is there a reaction or not? And actually, no. Out of last, no reaction to speak of. The vultures unload successfully, go after some of these SCVs, and any damage you can do, especially in a TVT, is going to be good damage. Gets right on in here, knocks down that SCV count for last. He had a lead, but now he's down by 3. That is several SCV kills. Not bad. All of his vultures died, but he did get some damage done to the economy. And that is, it's not as much part of the game as it is in PvP, where it feels like PvP is just nothing but storm drops and reaver drops for all time, until at the end of the game you have 21 and like 7 workers for each player. But TvT, you want to slow down your opponent as well as you can, which is generally what StarCraft is all about, right? Slow down your opponent, because if they're equally matched to you, they're going to macro up and have a big army at the same time that you will. And then it comes down to positioning, and it's just easier to win if you have the bigger army. Positioning still matters, and not as much. You know how it is. Lass is trying to push up this right side. There's not a lot of defense over here for Lass. His tanks are sieged up. He's going to get some free hits. But also definitely going to die from Last making a move up this way, because he wants to expand over on this right side. So he's securing this area for that purpose. So yeah, he's basically taken the whole bottom half of the map. He has it under control. The top half of the map here is definitely going to belong. Another attempted... Oh, there was a tank in the main, but at the third base, not as much defense, turns out. Is he trying to... Oh, he is getting more. Whoa! Siege drop. Okay, this is a little bit harder to deal with if you're Last. What a beautiful, beautiful setup. He even has a Goliath in here. Last is back down to 56 workers. He's been working so hard to fix his worker count problem. The vultures desperately getting hits off, taking serious hits. 5 kills and 4 kills on these tanks. The SCVs are happily mining as much as they can, considering the situation that they're finding themselves in here. And finally, after 9 kills, that siege tank goes. Last is down to 52 SCVs. He took a serious hit to his economy there. Top right hand was being harassed a little bit, but now the dropship is empty. So SSak doing some pretty good stuff, I would say. He's getting some damage done. He's not taking as much damage from the other side, the harassment that Last is trying to visit on him, but this big move up the right side and entrenchment has been really a problem for SSak. I don't know that SSak has enough. Ooh, like the Wraith, though. We're not into Wraith production yet, but 1 Wraith to deal with dropships is considered fairly standard stuff. Right side here, another base getting set up here by Last. He's saving this one for later in case he needs it, would be my assumption. Trying to go for the 4 drop ship play. It's like, do I unload? Nah, I just got scanned. I just got scanner sweeped. Not something you want to experience if you're a drop ship. Not even a little bit. I love the pair of burning barracks. Neither of them are dead enough that they're actively burning down, but they're both severely on fire. SCV transfer to the top right-hand corner. That is where SSak wants to expand. First of all, he's not taking the natural expansion for the top right position. Which, I like this. I like this play. So we often see it from professional players, saving sources of income that are safer for later, in case this really gets out of hand. And look, Oh, he actually canceled the ComSat upgrade on that because he saw the dropships coming in. And also this, you can fool your opponent into thinking that you're in the bottom right when you're actually not. He was going to fly over there, but I think then he heard the siege tank sieging up and was like, never mind, thank you. Dude, he got a cancel on that base. Look at that. Look at him hiding it. SSak. I like this aggression out of you. I really, really do. Going to go ahead and just land the command center over here at the 3 o'clock position instead. The dropships flying directly into Goliaths, which seems pretty terrible. SSak's cloak for Wraith is finishing up. And the Goliaths already have Charon boosters, as we saw there out of last. So that is some pretty serious business. Oh, he did land here. He's going to take out more. Man, Last has lost a lot of SCVs today. He's at 60, which is more than last time we really checked in on him, but definitely I guarantee he probably had 70 a second ago, because sSak definitely has 73. So this is such a weird game. Setting up in the bottom right. Remember when you thought this would be a safe location for last? Haha! You have been fooled and bamboozled. Quite possibly. The engineering bay heading down the left side. Goliaths are like, we will happily destroy you. That makes a lot of sense to us. And the SCVs transfer into the 3 o'clock, and that's where they live now. Where the bottom right has been totally seated up by sSak here. Engagement coming in. Trying to jump on top of last tanks here. +2 attack on both sides. +3 attack getting started for sSak, but it's a long way off yet. And slowly trying to push last down to this right side here. Tanks protecting this 3 o'clock base. It's really important to him that he holds on to this thing and maybe even taking a 9 o'clock. As sSak is finally taking the final base available to him, which is a bit of a problem. He needs this to be even economically with last, since last has this one. Although, he again, by denying these, that effectively counts as half a base each for him. So he is even economically. Again, defensive siege tanks, man. Pretty good against this little vulture harassment stuff. The vultures unload and just get vaporized. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. Drop inside the main base from sSak, trying to set up his tanks, siege him up. Take care of the responding tanks first. SCVs actually jumping in here to try to help get rid of them. And Goliaths help with that too. Look at this. SCVs did finish off that tank. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Dropships heading from the bottom to the top right-hand side to see what they can do with this. And the answer is there's a lot of turrets. A lot of turrets just kind of waiting for you to give that a shot, friendo. But the question is, at what point do we turn this into battle cruiser versus battle cruiser? Because that is kind of where we go in TVT after a time. As sSak attempts to push down the left side a little bit, doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Oh, the Wraith Ball for sSak is actually pretty good. He was making those, and know that, again, I recognize that he got Cloak, which indicates that he has more than a couple of these. But he's got a pretty decent Wraith Ball here. They're all stacked up, but there are 6 or 7 of them. Not too shabby. 7 of them is a good number to have. Plus his +3 is going to be finished sooner than last is. And again, denying these 2 bases is huge for sSak. It's massive. He's got all the top side bases. He's mining them out. He's denied 2 of Last's. Last has taken the right side, and he's taking the left side. So I think this puts us in an even position economically. As he just sSak is sacking his SCVs. Unintentional dad joke there. I don't know how else I would say that. I guess I could just say sacrificing, but he's maxed out and wants to be able to make more stuff. There's no other reason for an SCV train to be moving into siege tanks like that at all. Not at all indeed. All right, here we go. Here are the starports coming up from sSak. Where are the starports coming up? There they are. It's time. It's about 20 minutes. Let's all make starports. Let's all make a ton of wraiths. Let's all fight each other to the death in the sky. See who can come out on top. Going for ship weapons. Here is sSak. Getting cloak is last. Again, a little bit later. A lot of bit later than it was for sSak getting it. And yeah, for all the tanks and all the vultures and all the spider mines we've made in this game, it's going to come down to air superiority. As it usually does in TVT. It is still the case today in TVT and StarCraft 2. Still comes down to who controls the skies. You got battle cruisers, you got air-to-air combat, you got siege tanks, but eventually it just comes down to who can control the sky, and that's who wins. And that's the same in modern warfare. If you can't control the sky in a battle, you're going to get bombed into oblivion and you will die. Wow, sSak making a really aggressive move up here to the 3 o'clock base that Last has been at for some time. He does have the upgrade advantage just temporarily here. Defensive tanks are coming in from Last, sieging up, trying to cover this ramp, so it's not easy for sSak to move up into. Defensive matrix here on one of these tanks. That's some pretty good stuff. Oh, he's getting direct hits off on that command center, though. He does lift it to just keep it alive, which means the SCVs have to abandon the position. But this left base is a pretty big deal. Out of Last. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this still has minerals in his main. 5 bases for Last. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 5 to 5 bases here, and these ones are kind of no man's land. I'm surprised nobody's really tried to make a move on that. Wraith versus Wraith action. I don't... Comsats and direct hits, and who comes out on top? I don't actually know. Last wins because reasons, mostly. Sometimes Wraith battles are like Zergling battles. It just... I don't know, man. Looks like maybe there's more here for one player, but then they lose anyway because those particular engagements are shenanigans. Yeah, 4 battle cruisers in production at once here for sSak. He has a massive bank compared to what Last has right now. Holy crap, 4,1800. I mean, it's going down as he builds additional Goliaths and another battle cruiser. Last is making wraiths. Yeah, production tab says wraith here, and really... cost for cost, mass wraith will take down battle cruisers, but battle cruisers are much better against the ground than the wraiths are, so we'll see. We'll see how this works out. This is a good match. This is some really tight action. Actually, it's kind of swapped right now. Last has way more gas than sSak does, but sSak has a lot more minerals, interestingly enough. Good stuff, man. The Terran music. The Terran music is the best. Yamato gun coming in from sSak. More wraiths on the way here from Last. So we'll see who comes out on top into the sky battles. Right side base not happening for Last. He did manage to sneak down here and establish a couple command centers to build. He can't quite clear out the spider mines yet. This tank is sacrificing its life to clear out spider mines. But it's not actually going to make it down here, I don't think. Nope. He even got a shot off on the spider mine. He was like, yeah, and then he got blown up anyway. I don't know what they were attacking. Maybe spider mines? Either way, they do have a +1 attack, which is nice. They're working on +2 attack and +1 plating. Vehicle plating coming in too, interestingly enough. What? I don't know what they killed over here. The Wraiths came over and murdered something. I don't think it was a battle cruiser. Maybe it was. There's still a spider mine. You still can't land. Same here, man. Oh, that's so frustrating for Last. He's like, I just Just cleared this stuff out. I thought I got them all, but I can't land my command centers. This is so big for SSak. Last really wants to expand down that way. Here we go. Goliaths. Yamato takes down one of the tanks. The Wraiths are firing. Everybody is fleeing. SSak has his own Goliaths here. He's up about 20 supply. He's up on upgrades too, which is a humongous deal, especially in these mirror matchups. And these are still not mining bases. It's long distance mining right now. Finally, this bottom base is allowed to land. If Last ends up winning this game, it's going to be through sheer economy. Because I feel like SSak has done more to win it in macro, in harassment, in upgrades. But if it comes down to just a war of attrition, then Last has the benefit because of these bases and that left side base. Oh, there you go. See, look, just pouring damage into one of the battle cruisers. Hit and run tactics. Hit and run tactics out of Last here. That is so delicious to see with those Wraiths. That's what they're built for, man. They are built to hit you hard and fast and get out of there fast. They're not really built for prolonged engagements. All right, so right side base is taken. SSak can have this one now. Two tanks down, but at what cost? The Wraiths are firing. The Goliaths are firing. I don't know if the battle cruisers are worth it here, although insofar as they are a tank clearing unit, right? You Yamato down the tanks. And then hopefully don't lose any. You can slowly march forward here. Just making 4 tanks and 3 Wraiths at a time is Last right now. The map is split in half. But these are newer sources of income here. And the bottom right-hand corner for Last. He intended to save one, ends up unintentionally saving both. And now they're beautiful sources, fully fresh mineral patches here. That is not something that SSak has access to right now. Everything he's mining from has been mined from for a while. Maybe, oh, he's kind of trying to take the middle. I sort of like it. I really like it for SSak. I feel like he kind of needs to do it economically to keep up. Although, look at this bank, 6,000, 4,000. Last is at 800, 900. He's not even at 1,000 each. So 6 Goliaths and 2 battle cruisers at a time are in production out of SSak. He's got +2 attack for his air units. +2/+2 is actually done for the race, so they do have better upgrades, and they are intended to take down these cap ships. Like, Rays, they, you know, sometimes fill a bunch of different roles, but what they're intended to do is take down big things like carriers and guardians and battle cruisers. That's what they're intended for. I'd like to see some Valkyries, I think, out of SSak here. It obviously has the tech for it. He has the upgrades for it. Like, when these Wraiths cruise in here, taking a big face full of splash damage from those Valkyries would be very damaging for them. We have seen Valkyries in the past, but I don't see any in the production tab right now. Wraiths sneaking up this right side and actually going to try to wreck this entire base that SSak is trying to establish at the 3 o'clock on the bones and the blood of Last base over here. They shut it down, and then they get out before the response can come. This is really good hit-and-run play out of Last. It's beautiful stuff. And again, this income is massive. It's massively important. He's mining this out as fast as he can. The center, again, sort of being held here. He's like the least committal taking this you've ever seen. Oh no, the battle cruisers. 2 of them go down. Wraiths take some damage, but I'm not sure he even lost a Wraith there. Good gravy. 9 Wraiths at a time. I don't think I've ever seen this in a match. This battle cruiser Goliath style play versus just pretty much mass Wraith out of Last. And again, no Valkyries. I'm going to see it in the comments, I know. Why didn't SSak make any Valkyries? I don't know, man. cannot read sSak's mind. Again, another battle cruiser taking hits. Goliaths are good. Goliaths hit the Wraiths really hard, but they're not doing splash damage, which is what these little light stacky units are all about, is splash ruining their day. And they got it. Another smaller group moves in, takes down another BC. I almost feel like we should stop making battle cruisers altogether. I'm not sure they're paying for themselves. They're doing a great job kind of whittling down the tank count of last tier, but it's not enough overall. And the 10 Wraiths at a time. Last is like, I have a handful of tanks and a couple Goliaths and 47 Wraiths. And here they are. Battle cruisers almost at +2 armor. The tanks are almost at +2 armor. The ship weapons are almost at +3 for sSak. Last is in the same boat for his air upgrades. He's almost at 3-3 himself. 3 o'clock base has successfully been taken for the time being for sSak. I mean, he's got some turrets over here, but is it enough turrets? And the answer is, I really don't think it is. I guess there are turrets down this way, and there are some Goliaths to make sure it's really hard to set up over there if you're a Wraith pilot. Man, I know StarCraft is all about positioning, but TVT is like extra specially all about positioning. Hey, Goliath's found your secret base that you're barely mining from. And they're trying to shut it down. You better watch out for that. Wraiths, though, jeez. Look how many there are. He's just directly engaging with this. He's just directly engaging with Goliaths. And that is the sound of a lot of Wraiths dying. So maybe he overestimated there. Might not have been what he wanted to do. But look, center base, the hubris has been punished. Oh, but a big right side swarm here from sSak moving in. He's like, you can have that center, but I'm going to wipe out your 2 newest sources of income, which is how you win StarCraft games, man. Oh, missile turrets getting some free shots off on these Wraiths. Anything, any damage you can get off on those Wraiths is going to be good damage. Go, go, go. Finish this off too, man. That's a huge place. Last is benefiting a lot from that location, taking down random turrets. sSak is making a push. Where the same thing for Last, coming up the right side. Late game TVT, man. It's stressful for like how kind of slow mid-game TVT can look. This is... the last few minutes can always be pretty nuts. So, oh, going after the starports is so big for sSak, but these are the new sources of income as well for sSak. Wraiths do clear out the tanks, save this bottom right-hand base temporarily, but this is a lot of dead starports, unfortunately for Last. Another command center is going to die. It's 187 to 160 supply right now for Last. Again, I don't know that he has many starports other than the group that are here, that was here. That hurts. That hurts his ability immensely. He's still making 6 Wraiths at a time. Oh, the defensive Wraiths, though, out of sSak are going to handle this. I don't know. Can he save the command center? I don't know that they can. But all these tanks are going to die. And continuing. Both players have a pretty decent bank right now, which is absolutely insane at this stage of the game. That they both still have decent banks coming down the right side. So 2 new sources of income here are dead for Last. He has the 9 o'clock, and that's about it right now. Holy cannoli. All right, man. Wraith's trying to get hits off, but Goliaths are scary. Man, place your bets. Who's going to win this thing? I know sSak has a bigger lead. And he does have the 9 o'clock, and he is rebuilding his top right-hand corner and rebuilding the natural expansion to that spawn location. Jeez. The Wraiths, man, there's just a lot of them. Last is like, you know what's really good in late game TVT is a million Wraiths. I mean, this is Last just dragging himself back into this game with mass 3-3 Wraith. Just wrecking Goliaths and wrecking tanks. And why are you making more battle cruisers? SSak, I don't know. I don't believe in this strategy here. But these bases are gone. And Last is going to get mined out of this 9 o'clock here sooner rather than later. Push down the left side from SSak. He's still up 148 to 127 total supply. He's okay. I don't know that battle cruisers are the right thing to do. Apologies to Nemesis, who I know is watching this. He is the biggest battle cruiser fan that I know. Ah, but now we're making 7 Wraiths of our own. Okay, so he's trying to meet the Wraith count of Last. Is it enough is the question. Bit of an attack down the right side. Again, battle cruisers excel at clearing out tanks. They're faster at it than Wraiths are, but then... Okay, he's got his own Wraith hit squad now, and that's going to make Last worry. Worry is on his mind. He's like, okay, I can't just jump in there on the battle cruisers because enemy Wraiths are there to destroy me. I think SSak has this game. I think SSak has more sources of newer income right now. These 2 bottom right-hand corners are dead again. For Last, I did not expect to come into this game and see SSak win this. I figured Last had the upper hand without question, but it's 186 to 141 supply. Whee! It looks like Last Army is getting obliterated. The defensive Wraiths are there, and good game, Last. Last taps out, and SSak is your winner in 37 minutes and 2 seconds. Woo! That was a good TVT. SSak, man, with the harassment, the drops inside the main base, the harassment with the vultures, the early aggression, the denying Last's ability to hold these 2 bases for so long, and then after Last was able to take them, re-destroying them. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff there. I know I bad-mouthed his decision to go for battle cruisers, but I think it really worked in clearing out those tanks especially. And then he just had the support of Goliaths and battle cruisers and a million Wraiths, and that was it. Last just didn't have enough. His bank was dwindling. So was SSak's, but SSak had more sources of income available to him than Last did. He was mined out. Look at that. He just mined out over here. He knew economically he was done, and he tapped right out. Good. Really, really good stuff. Man, mirror matchups in Brood War. I should do them more often. I don't know. They just get less attention than anything else that I do, and I get why. Anyway. End of the day, 321,000 points for SSak, 294,000 points for Last. Ended up producing more units than Last, killing fewer units than Last, but also and losing more, but outproducing him by about 70. That's how close this game was. SSak won this game because he outproduced Last by 70 total units. Total. Over 37 minutes. Which is insane. Buildings, a lot more lost here for Last. That makes a lot of sense based on what we saw. And then resources. SSak was able to mine more gas, mine more minerals, and spend more than Last by about 3,000 resources. Hoorah! That was fantastic. That was so good. Beautiful. All right. Well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all/Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.